What is going on, guys? My name is 4G. So today I wanted to make a quick video talking about, was Fortnite Chapter 3 Season 2 the worst season we've seen so far? Now that is a pretty bold thing to say, but I think that there is a possibility that this could be the worst season. I'm going to be going over that in a second, but the main thing, let's jump right into the good really quickly. I do want to talk about that. The good, the movement that they added with this season, the mantling, the extra sprint, and that combined with last season's sliding mechanics, I think it made Fortnite feel so great. Having new mechanics like that is awesome, and I don't think I could ever go back to it. Actually, I know I couldn't go back, because when I play Save the World, it doesn't have that stuff, which, by the way, Epic, please add all that stuff, all that movement stuff to Save the World. That'd be awesome. But when I play that, it feels terrible. And the next thing is no build. No build was awesome to have, and while it is, there's some negatives to it, such as now normal build pubs are more sweaty because the majority of the casuals are now in no build, but still, it's still great, and I think the positives outweigh the negatives when it comes to that for sure. But I will say that no build mode would absolutely suck if it wasn't for the mechanics. That's what a lot of people don't seem to realize. Imagine getting stuck in a field with the regular sprinting that Fortnite has had for years. That would absolutely suck, with no jumping, no mantling, nothing like that, or well, jumping, but regular jumping that we've always had. Anyways, though, let's get into the negatives, because there is quite a few. The first thing is, of course, and a lot of people are already going to know about this, that is the spray meta. The spray meta is just terrible. I don't know why they had 2 seasons in a row with a spray meta. Chapter 3 Season 1 already had a ton of people complaining about that. The SMG spray, just not a good thing. They added an extra combat SMG on top of the stinger that was already a problem last season. I don't know what they were thinking with this. I really don't. It really took away from my fun with the game, but that wasn't even, that was just more towards the beginning of the season. You know, towards the middle and towards the end, we got an even bigger problem once everyone realized that the drum shotgun was absolutely broken.
Leah, you're disgusting. You are so disgusting. What the fuck?
Not to mention, I don't know why they did this. They buffed it with the shotgun changes, which weren't that great to begin with, if we're being real. It was good that they increased the headshot multiplier for like the striker pump, for an example. And I guess on paper, it sounds like a good thing to have minimum 5 pellets hit instead of 4 as the minimum. But at the same time, I don't know if that's really great, because now body shots are way better, or they hit way harder. And that's not necessarily skillful, really, because you can hit someone in the toe and do over 100 damage. That's not really that great. But they did the same thing. They increased the pellet with the drum shotgun. I'm pretty sure that's the change. Either way, they buffed the drum shotgun, which was just ridiculous, which it was already an absolutely terrible thing that should not have been in the game. And I don't even know. I know they did buff it, but even before they buffed it, it felt way stronger than it was back in Chapter 1. Maybe people are just better now, but, or maybe it's because I was playing no build, and no build is just easier to get shredded by a drum shotgun since you can't protect yourself at all. I don't know, but the drum shotgun, absolutely terrible thing. Hope that gets vaulted next season. If it doesn't, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be playing Chapter 3 Season 3 all that much either, because this season, I kind of had to force myself to get to Tier 100. I didn't get Tier 100 within the first month, which I usually would, which says a lot for me personally, because, you know, I grind this game, I love this game, I have so much passion for it, to the point where I make videos on it all the time, and just to, you know, not get Tier 100 in a month really says a lot about this season. But the next thing that, there's some issues here, they nerfed the pump shotgun, which doesn't even make sense because it's not in the meta right now. It's not even in the loophole, which, yeah, we're going to talk about the loophole real quick in a second too. But basically, the pump shotgun was nerfed to do a max of 185, I'm pretty sure it is. For the gold one, I think that's stupid, if I'm being completely blunt. Especially in a game which now has no build, which everyone has 250 HP, technically, if you were to be, you know, completely max shield and everything, 250 HP. I think that 200 damage wouldn't have done anything, really. The only thing I can think of is they're trying to balance between no build and build modes, but at the same time, then just change the values per mode, which they should be anyways. They're completely different modes. But next thing that they nerfed nerfing the wrong things all the time. That's what I've noticed with this season. Nerfing the wrong things and buffing the wrong things. It's crazy. But the next thing is the heavy sniper was added back. I was so excited. Then we find out that they nerfed the headshot damage to not one-shot headshot. Why? There's no reason to nerf all these snipers. I mean, it is a one-shot weapon that you have to be at a far distance for it to be even slightly accurate, and even then it takes skill to actually hit your shots. Pretty sure even on controllers there's no aim assist, so that would take even more skill if you had to aim like that. I don't know, something doesn't add up with that. And the Hunter sniper rifle that's been in the game since the beginning of chapter 3, that makes sense that it wouldn't be one-shot headshot because it has 3 shots in the magazine. You know, you have 3 extra shots, you can hit another shot pretty fast. But a heavy sniper is just supposed to be powerful, and to not one shot to the head like it's done for the last 3 years, well, not even 3 years, because until this season, the heavy sniper wasn't in the game since way back in chapter 2, season 2. And even then they nerfed the body damage, which was, I think, a little extreme. It's supposed to be a powerful weapon. But regardless, body damage or not being nerfed, I think that headshot damage should have always stayed one shot. They also did it to the hunting rifle, which was in the game briefly for like a wild week or something like that. Absolutely just terrible decisions in my opinion. I really don't understand this, and I hope chapter 3 as a whole isn't going to be going in this direction. I really hope that we start getting one-shot snipers back in the game, for an example, strong shotguns, balanced SMGs. Like chapter 2, I didn't like that chapter overall, the map itself mainly, not the gameplay itself, because the meta in some of these chapter 2 seasons were actually pretty good. We had some balanced loot pools and stuff like that. The pump shotgun was decent. It wasn't overpowered like it was in chapter 1. I will admit that it was kind of overpowered in chapter 1, even though I would not mind it going back to that. But I will say it was pretty powerful back then. But we also had balanced SMGs for the most part, like the normal SMG, pretty balanced. And to have just these powerful SMGs that have no bloom whatsoever is just crazy in Fortnite. It really is. And now looking over at the loophole thing, this is the last thing I want to talk about. The loophole is just so cluttered. There's so much garbage in it. Like, imagine getting so excited because you have a legendary chest and this garbage pops out. Who cares about this launcher that only locks onto vehicles? I mean, yeah, it's good, I guess, to have it as an option because the season has tanks and helicopters, so many vehicles. But when it pops out of the chest so often, it just makes me resent that item and think it shouldn't even be in the game, especially because it's not even that good overall. And it takes up a whole item slot. It always pops out of IO chests and legendary chests. It's just not something that should be in the game. In my opinion, at this point, remove it. Not to mention, there's so many different shotguns now too. The auto shotgun, drum shotgun, striker pump, tons of them. And I don't think necessarily that's a good thing. I kind of miss the days where we just had either the pump or tac. You had 2 options. That's it. Maybe bring back the crafting system if you're going to have a whole bunch of shotguns. Not like from season 6, but like season 7, season 8 of chapter 2. Those seasons with crafting, I think were pretty balanced. You could have more options. There was more weapons in there, but it didn't take up the loot pool, you know? Now they just add everything in here, and it's so hard to find a certain weapon that you want. Like, for an example, even the heavy sniper, they added a blue/rare variant, and it is really rare to find. So, chapter 3, season 2, is it the worst season ever? That is very hard for me to say, but I believe it is, and this is coming from someone who did not like chapter 2 season 2 at all. Again, that might have been just because it was heavily delayed over and over again, and towards the end of the season there was like no content, so it got very boring. Here's hoping the event makes up for the poor gameplay that this season had. And I don't think that I'm alone in this, because if we look at things like the FNCS Slayer count, it was the least amount of teams played out of any season. So that just says a lot to me that this chapter, the map is great. They're doing good with the content updates, like adding certain content updates is great, but adding them for the wrong reasons, adding weapons that just don't add to the game and actually do the opposite and just fill up the loot pool, is just not the way, in my opinion. Last season with chapter 3 season 1, they added the heavy shotgun. I think that was great. I think that season was far better than this. At least it had fun items that weren't completely overpowered, and there was options with the shotgun. Now, yeah, the SMGs were still pretty powerful. Don't get it twisted, but, you know, it was a little bit more balanced. you know, and we had the heavy shotgun that could do like 187 if you hit a headshot, and it was consistent because it only had like one pellet. It was pretty cool. Anyways, though, like I said, this season has been pretty iffy, and this has been a long video, longest video I typically have made in a very long time. But if you guys enjoyed, if you guys agreed with any of this stuff, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you guys are new here and like Fortnite videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you guys would like to support me, make sure to use code YouTubeIt's4G in the Fortnite item shop. I do get a small portion of that sale if you do use my code. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.